Hey, what's going on, guys? Kyle here with the Card Guys. We're at the Road to Nationals in Dublin, Georgia, and I got a treat for you guys because something crazy happened. So this is Justin. We just finished Swiss rounds at our Road to Nationals, and what did you do? With what? Tell me.
I played Kano, constructed.
You feel good about yourself, don't you?
I feel super good about myself.
I think it's funny. I think it's awesome. And so, I mean, you ended up going 4-1 in Swiss. Tell us about your matchups.
All two of them. I played Bravo, Bolton, Bravo.
Okay, so you played 4 Bravos, one
One Bolton.
And then Chain in the top 8. Unfortunately, lost in the top 8, but you top 8'd with Kano out of all things, which is awesome. So you end up going 4-1 in Swiss, which is really cool. And I just really want to see this list and get your thoughts on it, because I know you're doing it kind of as a meme, but kind of not, because you actually like this deck. So let's get into the list. So let's start with the equipment down here. Tell me about your equipment.
So the boots are the only requirement, I say, technically, for the deck, because you have to have a way to free instant when you need to go for the win. Arcanite Skullcap, I play over Talismanic Lens because we start at 30 life. We need 3 free health. We don't care about up to.
Sure.
The gloves, I play over the Iron Rot because it has Arcane Barrier 1 for the chain matchup, and it helps push damage through. And Tunic is Tunic. Everyone runs Tunic.
All right, well, let's see your list here. Tell us about each of your card choices and why you played what you played, and if you think somebody might not know what one of the cards do, let us know what the cards do. ETC.
So, in my opinion, the most important card in the deck is the Aether Flares, being red, maybe yellow, but typically red. Right now, the most lists run 1 to 2 Null Rune, so Aether Flare makes all of your spells just valid, and you can keep up with races.
Okay. So you just think just the 9 of that card is just
the 9. The blue's never really there for a cast. I mean, if you have to, you have to, but it's a blue.
Yeah.
It's a blue that can cast to do relevant things.
Sure.
After that's the Snapbats.
I love this card.
The card that I pair with Aether Flare the most.
Yeah.
Because you hit an Aether Flare for 4 or 5, and then you get to snap back after it for free. Well, you don't have to do any extra bull crap to cast as an instant.
Sure.
It also plays well with your with Kano, because you can Kano on their turn and still get a snap back out of hand.
Sure.
This side is Reverberate. It's here because, again, no one's running 3 Null Rune, realistically. So Red Reverberate says you can cast most spells in your deck after blots as an instant.
Yeah.
It gives you a way to just keep going.
So you think 8 of these is necessary?
Yeah, so we run the blue for the same reason we run blue Aether Flare. We only run 2 yellows because a lot of the lists are running 2 Null Rune, and we can pump to 3. We really only want the 1 damage in, so it's just not quite as good as the red.
Okay.
Stir is there because it pumps all of our spells past Null Rune.
I love that card.
I run it as a 5 of because it's my way of doing it on their turn. If you hit it off the top, it lets you play your other spells as instants for Kano damage. Tome is like every tome. They're tomes.
Yeah.
You're a Kano player and you can hit it off the top.
And you need life.
You need life. I gained 12 life against Levia last week. Playing Tom.
That's funny.
I ended at 1, so 41 damage that game. Feels good.
Let's see. All your singles of
you run all of the Majestics for Kano. You run the Gazes because it's a pitch blue that if you hit off top, it's typically a free pitch blue that scries you to.
Yeah.
So it's free knowledge, free setup. It also sets up with Reverberate.
Okay.
Because if Reverberate hits for any damage, you get to banish it, cast it, put it back in your hand.
Yeah.
To set up for your Kano. Sonic Boom is in the deck because it free casts from the top. Again, with only 2 Null Rune, if you put it to 4 damage, it almost always hits anything in your deck.
Yeah.
And it makes Fort Lightning 1, which is relevant here.
Okay.
Chain Lightning is the card I've had the most issues with. As a Majestic, I've almost cut it to 2 and 1 several times. The issue I have with it, it's only amazing from top.
Yeah.
Because from top, you can play your action, play it, deal 3, and then play as an instant. Whereas the rest of the time, it's just kind of, you see it in your hand and you don't want it to be your first spell because it deals no damage. And you could just play whatever as an action anyway.
Sure.
So seeing it from top or seeing it after a stirs where you're playing it, I don't have an explanation for Fort Lightning.
It's just Fork Lightning.
It's Fort Lightning.
Yeah.
You play it so you can 20 ball someone on the turn. I don't know what you want from me here. Tome is the same as the other tome. It's a free draw 2 off the top if you hit it. And on occasion, I haven't done it many times, but it's a free pump 2 because it actually has 2 modes.
Sure.
I forget that as a wizard player. It can pump damage if you need it to.
Yeah.
Lesson of Lava hits one. Lesson of Lava searches if it hits. So it's in there for, realistically, it goes hit for 1.
Yeah.
Put Tome on top, draw 2 cards.
Oh. That's pretty good.
Draw 2 blues, keep going.
Yeah.
The best I've done with Lesson was Lesson into Blazing Aether.
Mm-hmm.
So you put a Lesson on top, you cast it. You put a Lesson. You put Blazing Aether on top, you cast it.
Yeah.
So you could make 5, 4, and then 9 off the Blazing Aether.
Okay.
You only do that against. I've had a few people who just didn't run Null. They just wanted to try the race because 1 isn't relevant. 1 isn't super relevant most of the time. So they went with the race. Zaps used to be blue Voltic Bolts.
I was going to ask you about that. Yeah.
For a 3 damage spell. The issue I had was I would run into I run a lot of 2s in the deck and up. And hitting a 2-drop off the top, especially when it's a 2-drop blue that doesn't deal a large amount of damage, is atrocious. I'd rather banish a 0 that I can play in response. It's also better in the Levia, and I haven't seen this matchup often. What's her name? Ranger. The Ranger matchup, because you hit with your big spell, and you cast your Fort Lightning, and they try to respond with Feign Death.
Yeah.
You can let Feign Death resolve, respond, hit your blue zap off the top.
Okay.
And preventing 1 damage with a Feign Death is hilarious.
Okay.
Scalding Rain is in because it's a blue that deals 2, so it's slightly better than all our other blues.
Sure.
In the end game, you've used most of your reds, and when you need to deal damage on their turn, a 2 damage 1 cost is much better than all your 1 damage 1 cost.
Sure.
Aether Spindle's in there. Over Voltic Bolt, it deals 1 less damage in red, but it has an opt ability. And when they're not running Null Rune, I care less about 1 damage. I'd rather hit them for 3 Scry 3 or 4 Scry 4 than I would 5 or 4 damage.
Yeah. Okay.
And it's the same value.
And these are just mandatory in the deck too?
These are 100% man. This one, I think you could get away with a different blue. It would have to be a blue, though. These are if you want to do any form of big turn. If you want to do a setup turn, if you want to use your Metacarpus modes on 3 things.
Were you able to do anything with this day, having a couple on the board?
Yes, that's actually how I won my round 3 matchup. I was able to break it and activate gloves and weapon to put it to lethal. Because without that, they gain 3 life and live at 2.
Okay.
Is what happened to me round 1. Missed the mana, didn't get to activate.
He had the sigil, and he just
had the sigil. He gained 4 or gained 3, and I didn't have the 1 resource to pump into my gloves for the Fort Lightning. Time Snap, I run it solely for the turns where I can go Aether Flare card. That's really all it's there for. Otherwise, it's a pitch forever.
Okay.
Or if you can get it Aether Flare Fort Lightning, because that's always funny.
And what about these? These are your flex sideboard spots.
These are my sideboard.
Let me know kind of what you put these in against and your sideboard options that you do.
Nourishing Emptiness, at the rate that it's going, comes in against 3 decks only. It comes in against, depends on the variant of change. I've seen some chain lists run, what's the chest? Carrion Husk. But a lot of them are going to Aether Weave.
Yeah.
From what I've seen. So they don't have the equipment to block it anymore, and no one's keeping a red defense reaction against you.
Yeah.
Because it's bad. It comes in against Katsu because, again, they're not keeping their defense reactions.
Yeah.
And if the Katsu player blocks with their helmet and their tunic so that they don't take 6, I'm not really scared of the Katsu player anymore. They don't have a helmet, it's fine.
Very true.
And it's a prism card.
Yeah.
It says, stop hurting me.
Yeah.
These 2 are solely for Bravo.
Yeah.
Enchanting Melody helps get around Crush Effect.
It won you a game today.
It did win me a game. Actually, together they won me a game. I was dominated for a Crippling Crush with an Absorbent Arsenal. I pitch activated Kano, hit an Enchanting Melody, pitch cast it, block with a card in hand, and paid the 1 resource remaining for the Absorb. And just blocked 11.
Wow, that's awesome.
And then these...
Aetherize and Chain of Eminence.
These 4 cards are for Chain. This one, again, variant on if you think they're running Carrion Husk or not.
Yeah.
Absorb, they run too many big cards that just hurt you, like a Riftbind for 9. It just sucks. So a free block 4 that pumps your snapback, so you're not just wasting your entire turn.
Yeah.
Blocking out makes it feel a little better.
Yeah.
Aetherize, is there solely for Artivore. I will never cast it on an Eclipse. I don't care.
Yeah, all strictly Artivore.
I can't even attack Eclipse. I don't care. It's or Ursa, whatever it is. I'm only going for Artivore with that card.
Yeah.
Which I actually got today in top 8. His second turn, he tried to Artivore me, and I said no. And Chains of Eminence, I think it's the same reason everyone else runs it. There's like 5 cards I think are relevant, like super relevant in the chain deck that you just don't want to happen.
Yeah.
And I got to play mine round 1 and called the correct one. So my chain player spent his turn soul shackling, Arsenal, and passing because I named Shadow of
Shadow
Ursa.
Sebastian.
Yep. But that's my list. Those are the thoughts.
Well, congratulations, dude.
Appreciate it.
You did what people didn't think was possible.
Was going for the win, but got shut out by Sebastian. He's a great player, and he's on chain, so it's a great deck. And he respected the null rune. He had 2 pieces, which is, I don't think 1 is enough.
Yeah.
If you have 1, just save it for your chain matchups. 1 damage on any of these does nothing. Because even my blues, if I use my weapon on, it's still hitting me.
Yeah. Heck yeah, man.
I don't think 1 is relevant. 2, on the other hand, makes all of my yellows bad and makes all of my reds worse. Because now Aether Flare is only going to give me 1 damage.
Okay.
Or Reverberate can only banish at 1 cost.
Awesome.
And it's just not great. Sonic Boom no longer hits Force Lightning off the top.
Yeah.
Which we like hitting.
We love that. But yeah, man, congratulations. Like I said,
appreciate it.
You're on top of the Kano world right now.
We're trying.
Well, yeah.
This is also probably the close, if not the exact list I'll be taking to Vegas.
Yeah. Heck yeah,
This is what I'm playing in Vegas.
Well, congratulations. We'll see you at Vegas.
See you in Vegas.
I'm looking forward to
In
it.
round 1.
Shit, right? All you gotta do is dodge the round 1 Kano play. Alright, well, YouTube, here you go. This is it. This is what made top 8 today Road to Nets. So hopefully you guys enjoy that. Thank you again, Justin, for the video.
Yeah, man.
If you guys want, subscribe because we're cool as shit.
They are awesome people.
And
loved having them down here every time they came.
and leave a like and comment and stuff because that helps me out too. But yeah, man, congrats again. Hope you have a good rest of your day. We'll see you in Vegas and YouTube.
Hopefully we see you in Meeple.